Welcome back to SBR Forum Videos. Which NBA teams could be on their way up or down the standings this season? I've chosen two in each conference that could be up and down this season. We'll start it off with one of the teams in the Eastern Conference that I think is going to make a huge jump, maybe even the third best team in the East, and that's the Miami Heat. Now, a lot of this depends, obviously, on the health of Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, who both missed significant portions of the season last year. However, they re-signed Goran Dragic to a huge new deal. A full season of Dragic at the point guard position is going to be absolutely clutch for this team. Of course, Luol Deng opted into his contract. He's back for another year. Hassan Whiteside could be in for a huge payday if he has another consistent season here at the center position. And they drafted Justice Winslow, one of the steals of the draft. They also still have some depth on that roster. They could be the third best team in the Eastern Conference, could have a lot more wins, and could be a very good ATS play come the 2015-2016 season. Now, a team out west that I think is definitely on their way up, obviously, is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Brought back Enes Kanter on a big deal. Of course, they should be getting back the best player, if not the second or third best player in the NBA, in Kevin Durant coming back healthy this season. Going along with Russell Westbrook and already a very stacked and talented roster, this team could absolutely be out of the lottery and back up towards the top of the Western Conference. They're already one of the best future odds to win the NBA championship here next season. Now, a couple teams that could be on their way down. I think the first one is pretty obvious, and that's the Portland Trail Blazers. Losing LaMarcus Aldridge, one of the 10 or 12 best players in the entire NBA, is going to be really hard to recover from here next season, especially after a season where they had 51 wins, and with only bringing in guys like Al-Farouq Aminu, Ed Davis, and Gerald Henderson, not going to be enough to replace the outstanding play of LaMarcus Aldridge. I think the Blazers are a lottery team next season, could lose at least 10 or 15 games more than they did last season. Portland Trail Blazers, definitely a team you might be looking to fading here in the next season. Another team that I think might surprise some people that I think is on their way down is the Atlanta Hawks. They really peaked last season, had a huge year. Not a lot of people saw them coming. In fact, no one saw them coming, and no one saw a 60-win season on top of that. They lost their glue guy, the junkyard dog, in DeMarre Carroll. I think that's going to take a lot away from this team. He was obviously the team's really best defender, and now with no one to play defense on a guy like LeBron James or any other talented wing player on that Atlanta Hawks roster, going to be very hard for them to duplicate what they did last season. I think at least 8 to 10 wins less than what they were last season is definitely in the cards for the Atlanta Hawks. They did re-sign Paul Millsap, which was a great move for them, much needed move for them, as I think he's their best player on the floor. They also added Tiago Splitter and Justin Holiday, very underrated players in both of those guys. However, no better than third or fourth place in the Eastern Conference, I think, for the Atlanta Hawks. It's really going to be tough to recover from losing Carroll to the Toronto Raptors. But that'll do it for me this time. Make sure you check out a couple of our other NBA previews as we are steaming full speed ahead here into August before the NBA season will be here before you know it. But that'll do it for me this time. For SBR Forum Videos, I'm Jordan Sharp.